Hello, hello. Ooh, we are back on the Power Hour, the Comedy Power Hour on KUAW 98.5 FM, brought to you by the Music and More Foundation. I'm super excited. I haven't been in the studio in a minute. I've been neglecting y'all. I have definitely been playing y'all. And I'm sorry. I'm back. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? I live a lot of lives, and we're just gonna start making up excuses, but I'm happy to be back, and I got a guest in the studio today. Pum 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 pum. I've been contemplating on this since November, since I saw you at the musical. I have one of my college friends' little sister. It's crazy. I forget that she's not one of my college friends.
Yeah.
I done kidnapped and hijacked them. But Angel Duncan is in the building.
Hey,
welcome,
y'all.
welcome.
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me, Janell. Seriously. Look, I know it takes just a random act for it to happen because had you not just been like, okay, you want to come today? Like, come
What
today.
you doing in 15 minutes?
Yeah,
Let me holla
What
at
doing
you.
It would have probably never happened, but thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I'm also the queen of spontaneity and last minute. I feel
I'm okay
like
with that.
I live life on the edge.
Yeah.
Like I be like an hour. Okay, let me shower, get dressed.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So thank you
No
for coming
problem.
last minute. One of the reasons I had you is you're just a very, very vivacious, outgoing spirit, and one, she loves comedy. She is a connoisseur of it. She is a fan. She comes to the shows. She comes to the things, even when she's just in town visiting. She would come to the things
For sure.
and that's important.
Yeah.
No shade, all the shade. It's so important. Go ahead and park. Also, I'm on my Lord, I'm live streaming today, so I'm gonna definitely be multitasking, going back and forth. I'm so sorry, KUAW. You gotta get the coinage.
I
Gotta get the coinage. But I love her spirit. I just love how she is and just how she interacts with people. Where I fell in love with her, she is a physical trainer, and the way she hypes people, she calls them physique.
I do. Yeah, they're my physique.
I've never been called a physique before or told I had a physique.
Yeah, for sure.
So come on, like when you meet somebody like that just encourages you to get off the couch, be cute, and also just stay motivated. I mean, sometimes we're told as Black women we just have this mean girl spirit. I have never, ever, ever felt a mean girl spirit in a body in your bone. I have to give y'all mother credit and props, because all three of y'all are amazing, and even the brother too. The brother is my frat brother. It's a small world, so it's crazy, but just the dynamic energy that y'all all have as women, and y'all are all uniquely different. It's wild, but y'all are all so much the same. But y'all are so uniquely different. So I'm so happy to have you here today. So thank you for the impromptu-ness of all of this jazz. Let's get into the commentary and the things today. Selective outrage. We got to talk about it on the Comedy Power Hour.
We got to talk about it.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Like, so one, selective outrage, if nobody knows in the atmosphere, is a stand-up special by Chris Rock that is now streaming on Netflix, which, because it's wild now, everything is a streaming platform. Like movies don't go to the movie theater anymore. They're on a streaming platform. Oscar-winning movies are streaming platform movies. So it's wild. So it's out there if you want to see it. If you haven't, what has blown my mind is that going into this, of course, people, if you haven't heard, Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith on the Oscars, which is funny. I feel like the last time I was in the studio, we were talking about this. So it was a whole year ago. But he's been on tour. Like he's done tours, and he's never addressed this slap until this special. And the internet and their dissertations are wild now.
They always are. So yeah, it's gonna come and go. But since it's here, let's talk about it.
Let's get into it. So, have you actually watched it yet, or?
So it's been playing in the background.
Okay.
Because there are different people in my, just like in the household who have watched it at different times. I get, listened to it a few times.
Okay.
You know, just passively. But I spent maybe like 5 minutes. The 5 minutes I had sitting down, you know, to watch it, and yeah, let's talk about it.
So what's crazy is I feel like at this point you don't have to actually watch it to have like received everything about it, because the world is so opinionated about it. Now here's the thing. I'm all for people's opinion, but where it comes into an issue for me is that I think the opinions are not just to have the opinion, but to completely discount him as a comic.
Absolutely.
And that's where I have the problem. Because even if you don't like Chris Rock, even if you don't like his stand-up, he's been a comic for over 20, 30 plus years.
Absolutely.
You know, and for me, I'm a product of the 80s. So I grew up in the 90s absorbing comedy. And it's one of those things where I'm like, he was like my childhood. You know what I'm saying? He literally like, you think about all the movies that he helped produce and was a part of, just like the early 2000s was the Chris Rock era. He was literally the comedian that was on everybody's CD or doing the ad libs. I mean, he made music. And I mean, nobody can exactly like, if someone steps on your Pumbaa, let it slide. Classic, right? You know what I'm saying? And he was the voice of Madagascar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The zebra. I mean, he was in all. I mean, he's in Shark's Tale. I mean, I can't even think of every.
He's a mogul for a reason.
But yeah, his voice. And what's crazy is one of the things that someone said was, "Oh my God, he just sounded like an old man ranting," and I was like, well, he is old. And have you ever looked at his style of comedy? That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's wild for people to have this whole like attitude that it was just an old bitter man. And I'm like, that's kind of always been his style of comedy.
Just going up there and like going off.
So it stresses me out. Now, here as a woman, black women, we're two having this conversation. I've never felt disrespected by him. And this special, they were just like, he just disrespected women so much. Now, he did call Jada Pinkett the B word or whatnot, you know. And this is funny segue. My girlfriend just texted me and was like, just say my name next time, because she did not like the special. And listen, selective outrage literally had us we was in two corners. Like, I really don't have anything to say to her about this. I don't. I'm just done having this conversation. But to get on the point that he said the B word, and hear me out, when he said it in the special, I think it was kind of just like banter in the background. I don't think he deliberately was like trying to punch her down.
I do.
You do?
Now, yeah, for sure.
But they have beef.
And that's,
Which is the reason
it has to be put in context.
Yes.
But yeah, he definitely was like, it was a shot that was thrown.
I think it was a shot, but it wasn't meant to be like this just deliberate bank shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people were making it seem like, because one, it was like a 2-second mention. And people are making it seem like the way people went in is like he would have did a 5 to 10 minute bit on this woman. And I'm like, it was fair game.
What's honestly so genius about it is that it didn't have to be 5 and 10 minutes for him to address all of it. It was a good 2.5, and it held weight. It did.
And what I loved about that particular part of the special is the cadence of it, the rhythm of it. So with comedy, repetition.
The segue from the Beyonce and Jay-Z jokes, like,
I didn't even pay attention to that part.
Oh my God.
That was good. That was good. So that part I didn't even pay attention to, but to me it was all about in tone and delivery.
Yeah.
Like cadence is a big thing when you're on stage, especially when you're trying to deliver to a large crowd of people. You want, like, one, you have to kind of almost become redundant and start repeating
you
things.
have to, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you want everybody to catch it. And in order to build a punchline up, in a sense,
you kind of have to revisit.
You
got to
keep revisiting and repainting that image, because you want everybody to get into this. And like what he was saying is, you are upset at me for calling this man a certain name, and this person called him a name, and that person called him a name, and before we even got into an altercation, this person called him the same name, and he just kept repeating it. That repetition, baby.
Yeah.
People will laugh because they already caught the joke.
Yeah.
People are catching the joke.
Yeah.
Now we got everybody else in there. People understand laughter works in tears when you're doing stand-up. It rolls forward. It rolls back and forward. So to me, that cadence, that build up, just all of that, like, it was brilliant.
It was good.
And if you are a fan of comedy, sometimes you do not have to be the fan of the joke, because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of times I've absorbed comedy and I'm like, yo, this is very trash.
Yeah.
Very inappropriate, but the way you said it was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. And that's just how comedy is. But what blows my mind is that people are willing to absorb something that they are going into rightfully hating it.
Yeah.
I hate horror movies. I'm afraid. I'm going to have nightmares, right? So what I don't do is go watch Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I don't know what him and Jamie Lee Curtis got going on. I don't know. I'm not going on social media and putting these think pieces out there like, why is Mike Myers white? And why won't anybody change his pantsuit? And why is he trying to, get his sister? That's very incestual. Are you encouraging incest? Like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out here to fight with people about horror films. So why is it that people will go absorb stuff just to get out here and be like, I absolutely hated that person. It was horrible. I didn't know all these people hated Chris Rock. When did we start that? When did we start hating Chris Rock? Like, if I was a blog writer, I would write a blog about, like, when did this cultural shift, because I felt like Chris Rock was the epitome of comedy and just like
during his era, when he, like, well, really,
it's
his era now.
Exactly.
It's his era now as well. But
just the king of, like, entrepreneurship. Like, he had several lines. The man was producing movies. Only other comic that I know to go hard and have wide, like, mainstream movies is Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And then people make fun of him for his relationship with Adam Sandler. And I'm like, so y'all mad at people getting the bag with each other?
Yeah.
I definitely feel like a lot of people jumped in on this argument on clout. Somebody just brought that up in our chat, is that I think a lot of people tend to start to bash certain things because it's just a clout chasing thing and to have an opinion.
And you know, black people are very, listen, I can only speak for black people because that's who I associate with, honestly. You know, like, that's what I know.
That's your majority.
Yeah, that's my majority. So that's what I know. But what I've noticed is that black people get very uncomfortable with the fact that someone of our kind moves into
another space,
another space, or is accepted into
and
another
we call
space.
It what? Selling out.
Oh, man.
And it's wild because we're all, like, in certain circles, we're all about collaborating and getting the bag and doing these things together. But then if somebody goes outside of that circle, we are considered selling out.
Yeah.
Now, Issa Rae is one of my favorite people. She always mentioned this thing about how, like, I thought it was, especially as a comic and somebody really trying to brand themselves and make moves, she talks about, like, the spirit of collaboration and how we always, like, we'll get on Google to, like, go look up who does something when our homeboy or our friend does it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, I was like, I need to open my mouth up to collaborating with people that are closer to me instead of thinking that I need to reach out.
Yeah, she always said everyone was trying to work up. You're trying to work up, work across.
Work across, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like there is this dynamic of us that feels that that's what he's done.
Yeah.
But I also feel like...
But he's worked with black people, and he still works
exactly.
with black
And
people,
he's, I mean, for the longest when he produced movies, that was our faces that you seen in it. That was our people that he was working with. So I just don't like this narrative that he is so anti-black women, black people, like the good hair. A lot of people, you know, had an issue with how he addressed that. And for me, I was like, I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot about
that documentary.
I think it's very informative.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like, here's the thing, being a black woman, there's so many things you don't know about. There's so many layers and levels about how we exist as women and how we, you know, are operating.
Yeah,
like for me,
how our culture came to be.
Exactly.
Exactly.
For sure. Like, I just got a diagnosis, and it's crazy because I'm so like wanting to be hush hush about it. But the more research I do about it, it's like it's the most common thing amongst African American women. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a thing. It's our disease.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, why shouldn't I feel comfortable to have these conversations with other women?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's just all in how we view things and how we get things. But I've never felt attacked or personally felt like, even when it comes with that humor element, that it's being mean, you know what I'm saying, or malicious or any kind of way. And so it's weird that people have looked at him like this pillar of just absolute like destruction for us, or like somebody who has literally benefited off of making fun of us. And I don't think that's true. I don't think you should be penalized by your fan base either.
Yeah, for sure. I think from what I've picked up, black people can be a little uncomfortable when it comes to our culture being exposed, because we are not 100% comfortable with who we are, and it starts from there.
I mean, what I'm saying? We're kind of raised in condition like that. Like, he ended the special talking about we don't fight in front of white people, right?
And people had such an issue with that. Right. But did your mama not teach you that?
It literally,
it's a real thing.
We are taught not to have conversations. We are taught not to behave a certain way. So, like, even like I asked one of my friends, I said, if you have this feeling about Chris Rock, how do you view my comedy? Because I literally go into spaces and talk about my black experience. And I'm not looking at who's in the crowd and what race, what denomination, what tax bracket. I'm simply looking about my blackness. I'm just looking for, she's stupid, you know, or
and she's telling the truth.
So like, right. And so hear me out. Like, sometimes I will point out to a person, hey, you laughing a little bit too hard, white person. That wasn't for you. That was not for you, Karen. That was not for you. That was for my sister Stacy behind you, you know. But at the same time, like, I feel that, you know, also being a New York comic, you get put in certain crowds and certain spaces. I mean, even like my experience doing comedy in New York, like, I started out doing comedy clubs, but it was in predominantly black audiences. And then I went over to West Side Comedy Club. Whole different type of
vibe, a whole
different type of vibe.
So
I was like, oh snap. Now I see what people are talking about when they say that some people don't find some, you know. But at the same time, like, that's not me trying to go up and not cross over. That's me as a black woman being happy that I'm accepted in these spaces. And I think that's the same thing with Chris Rock. But I don't want to stay on that forever, because we definitely talked about Kansas City culture. And so I think it's a good segue to bring up just about how, like, talent, how sometimes we feel we can get stagnant. Because I hear a lot about how, like, Kansas City is this way, but when you go to other cities, you hear the same thing.
Absolutely.
You hear like Atlanta is a struggle.
Yeah, Houston is a struggle. I've just moved back from Houston, guys, from being there for years. So they have the same sentiments about their city. Like Kansas City is no different.
So what, like, as a person who's into artistry, do you feel there's any difference of trying to break out and build your brand versus being in Houston versus being in Kansas City?
Oh.
Come on with the good questions.
I know, right? Do I feel like there is a difference in trying to build my brand?
Because people say it's a big city, more opportunities, you know.
Yes.
But is there a difference? Do you feel like you could do the same thing in Kansas City?
I do feel like I could do the same thing in Kansas City. I think the way you go about it has to look different because, you know, the size of the city. Obviously, I'm from here. You know, I'm not from Houston. So I would have to put myself out there a lot more. I did not have the comfort of being around, you know, the people that I grew up with and, you know, calling their phone and like, hey, do you know somebody I can pull up now, you know?
Right.
However, I did come back home from moving from Houston for that reason specifically, to like rebuild my brand. Because it is easier to do at home, in my opinion. I'm not just like another number. And sometimes being in a smaller city is way more beneficial.
Agree.
It really is. It's way more beneficial. You don't feel like you have the hustle and bustle, especially if you are a person who wants to build your brand on being authentic, on being yourself. You know, a smaller city tend to gravitate to that a little faster. You know,
so that's a huge, like,
may I say this real quick? Whether they like you or not, getting your name out in a smaller city, building your brand in a smaller city happens a little faster because people catch on faster, especially with social media, right?
Agreed.
People catch on faster. Your name goes further faster in a smaller city, honestly.
Agreed.
So,
I mean, it's less of a hassle. Like, you have a smaller pool to try to
build relationships. Absolutely.
And I think that's so much. And then, like, when I think, like, for instance, I moved to Houston to pursue my comedy and take it to another level because I felt like once I got capped off, I hit like a glass ceiling here. And you get to a point where your talent, where people don't want to work with you because they don't want you to outshine them. Or,
that's a real
I
thing.
don't know you, so I'm not gonna mess with you. You know, so I was like, let me move to Houston because I got people. You know what I'm saying? And then I got there and I was like, girl, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm gonna go back to
so
the house.
Many people.
Yeah,
and you know, it only take me 15 minutes to get to a show in Kansas City. What? I got an hour drive and a commute and being stuck in traffic.
I remember that.
What? I don't want to do an open mic tonight.
Yeah, because it's so far away.
Right.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
I literally dialed back my talent and just was like, I'm cool with being an everyday working girl, 9 to 5, doing graphic design or whatever. I don't have to do stand up because it's such a big city. I can thrive being a 9 to 5er.
That is actually very true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
You will stunt your own growth because, like, once you like, I can work at this job, I can make this money.
Yeah,
you know, I can go to brunch.
I feel like that's what I did with teaching. I became a teacher. I mean, obviously, I have a degree. You need to shout out to Prairie View A&M.
Come on,
University.
Talk your stuff. I was waiting. I was
waiting. But yes, I am a woman with a degree, so like my 9 to 5 was being a reading teacher, and I just kind of got sucked into that, forgetting that, you know, I have dreams and I have aspirations. But to Janell's point, you make good money down there, you know. I'm down there. I'm
get caught
a teacher.
in the career lifestyle.
Yeah,
and then
it
the
becomes
career
comfortable
lifestyle on the weekend is a whole nother kick. It's a whole career,
nother, yeah.
being a career girl in Houston.
Oh my God.
When you hear about brunches and the girls who get drunk at the brunches,
that be us.
That's the career girls. That is what we're doing. We're out here putting too much champagne and orange juice. Yes.
No, seriously.
Those are your teachers, your your physical therapists,
the lawyers.
Yes.
Trust me.
Listen, Thursday through Sunday, we're not professional. We're drunk. And the points and views on KUAW are not.
Right. Yeah. Are not that of Janell Banks.
Yeah, they got a whole disclaimer. I swear they didn't put on the radio station till they put me in the mix.
That is so funny.
But yeah, I feel like in Kansas City culture, we're very much we're circle. We're circle. Like there's just circles, and I don't even want to call it cliques anymore because I feel like I'm too old to use the word clique. Yeah. And if I say clique, it makes me sound like a bitter Betty. Because when you say clique, I feel like I'm saying I want to be in the part of it, and I don't. I do not celebrate mediocrity.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are just certain circles of people that are just like, this is my talent circle.
And do you know that I have not felt that yet? Because guys, I left Kansas City when I was 18 years old to graduate from PV. I came back in 2016 and I left right back out in 2019. And I just came back in this past November of 2022. So I said all of that to say I am just now at 30 years old. I am just now.
So young and
oh, you think so?
Oh my God.
Listen,
girl.
I've gotten really comfortable with just saying I'm 30 years old. Like
it's real cute when you really just 30 years old, but then when you start adding mixed fractions to it and you start getting up in the air, you know what I'm saying? It's like, girl, that's why I say I'm forever 29, because black don't crack unless you use it a little.
Seriously.
You know, we know black don't crack, but it expands, it stretches, it gets a little wrinkled, you know.
Oh my God.
It sag a little bit, you know. But the voice get a little deeper, you know.
Oh my goodness, no, that's a thing. That's a thing.
But, so yeah.
Wait, what was I about to say? Okay, to my point, at 30 years old, I am just now, you know, like rebranding, doing collaborative work, you know, like really just trying to put myself out there. So I don't know about the scene like that. So when you say that it is grouped in and group based, I haven't experienced that yet. So just give me the tea. What's going on?
See, I feel like I should not be that person because I am set in my ways. You know how older people get to complaining about stuff for no reason. Now you just say good morning and they be like, well, it ain't a good morning because they out here calling people N-words for no reason. They done call Selena an N-word and she ain't no N-word. She a bitty bitty bumbai, you know. It's we just get to a point where I feel like I'm set in my ways and I have my views.
Okay.
I will say that it's just a lot of talent here, and what I like about you is I don't think you're biased. I don't think you would never let anybody influence you. And I think that everybody would just gravitate to your energy. So I feel like you could go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I definitely do feel like.
I pray it stays that way.
Oh, you got it. You got the juice. You got the juice.
Thank you.
I just feel that our entertainment is kind of based like our entertainment districts. Like you literally, like you have your West Bottoms crew. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you have, 18th and Vine is a lifestyle for some people.
Oh,
it's,
for sure.
It's culturally a thing for some people. So,
absolutely. I thank God for 18th and Vine.
I do. Sometimes. I do.
I know.
But sometimes I be like, stop breaking into people's cars.
Like,
leave people's stuff alone.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But that can happen anywhere. That can happen anywhere. Yeah. So I don't even want to say that.
It sometimes happens on 18th Vine.
Yeah.
But
that's what grinds my gears about it.
Proud and am I happy that we have a space to go to see each other?
Absolutely.
To gather.
Absolutely.
I am happy about that. Indeed. I really am. Yeah.
Indeed. And so I think that's just kind of how our entertainment is set up. I mean, with comedy, comedy is one thing I like about being a comedian here, and I've kind of just built some rapport with people, is I like going everywhere. I don't like to have to just stick to doing just the comedy club and comedy shows. You know, I've done empowerment events. I've been at Pride. I do the Truth Festival and different things. So, I mean,
I love that.
Yeah, like I like to get out there because I feel you can put comedy in. Everybody got to laugh. And everybody, I mean, it's just an icebreaker.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's not even about being funny. It's just you need somebody who has charismatic energy,
absolutely,
and can be relatable and quick.
Yeah, seriously.
So I think that's the beautiful thing about it. And like with acting, and then just like with your background, like right now there's a whole dynamic and a wave of women coming together in the workout world here. And they've been doing like camps and stuff together. So I commend them ladies, because I'm like, they found their niche, and they know that each one of them within that niche has a different style, a different body type, and a different way of relating to people. Some people that work out, I'm like, girl, I don't want to talk to you. Because I know you should ask me something stupid about something, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, but some people, you be like, oh, yeah, I do want to do jumping jacks with you, girl. Like, I do want to plank. I will plank right on out this conversation.
All right. Y'all, I just want to give a disclaimer that my degree is in health and human performance. I definitely have on my own personal training business, Touched by an Angel Physiques. I have not done it in a while, though. Like, I have not. I haven't done it in a while. I mean, you can't take away knowledge, right? It's just I don't know what my love for it just kind of diminished over time. I don't know what that was about.
We shift. Like, I'll be honest with you. Right now, I'm having a love and hate relationship with comedy.
For real?
I am. And I love stand-up so much. I literally, like, it's something that is ingrained in me. Like, if I'm not doing it, I feel bogged down.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's the chase that, like, you know, you just get worn out. Like, the constant every day, it's like you start at ground zero. Like, for instance, I'm on this app, and the goal of the day is to engage with all these people to get to like this certain ranking. Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel like comedy is. You know, you go out, you open up, you have an amazing show. Like, I open with great headliners. Or I'm a headliner. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I'm traveling in here, I'm doing New York, and then that's over, and it's like I have to start at ground zero again the next day. Up this career. Yeah. And so, you know, sometimes it just gets very, I don't want to say I get, like, I do have these woe is me moments, and sometimes I'm like broken down to a point where I'm like, girl, I'm tired of trying to prove myself. Because being a comedian, you literally have to prove yourself. Just even interacting with people, if they say, you know, hey, who are you? I'm a comedian. Oh, tell me something funny. And I'll be like, and you don't tell a doctor to just bust you open because they a doctor, you know. Saying? Oh, you a doctor? What is this? Yeah. What this is? You know, like, you don't, you know, like, so,
sir, put on your shirt.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, dang, you know, why you gotta hit me with say something funny? Yeah. And the gag is, if I tell one of my funniest jokes right here in front of your face, you're gonna be like, oh, okay.
Right. Because you're not even set up to receive it.
Yeah, we got to be in a salad bowl to eat salad. Yeah. We can't just be out here eating regular vegetables and then, like, trying to put together a salad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know, it'll come back around, though. It's definitely going to come back around. And the greatest thing about being home in Kansas City, I have the platform. Yes. I'm surrounded by the people who really love me. And if in the moment that I say, hey, I'm about to use this degree in my health and human performance, I'm about to pick back up my personal training, who down, I have a support system that's going to see about me, that's going to come. And so I love that.
That's the beautiful thing of it, too, is like that support system is so, like, important.
It's so important. Oh, my gosh.
So if the comedy power, we want to talk about empowerment right now. Let me tell y'all, in 2023, support is not passive. It cannot be passive.
It cannot be.
It is not a text message.
Nope.
It is, especially depending on what their art is, and they art form, or what they're doing. It's not just saying, yo, I'm proud of you. Like, 'cause don't get me wrong, We like those.
Yeah.
But it has to be a little bit more hands-on.
Absolutely.
It has to be more hands-on.
A little more in your face.
We got to have booties and seats.
Yeah.
We gotta have ticket sales.
Yeah.
We gotta have merchandise sales. If I'm peddling art, merchandise, if I'm selling poetry, whatever. Like, I need you to buy my book, buy my t-shirt, buy my album, it's not just saying I'm proud of you for making an album. Buy the album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stream the album.
Absolutely. Buy the ticket. Show up.
And if it ain't your bag, give it to somebody else. Or tell somebody else to buy it. But I think people have got social media is crazy, and just even cell phones. Like, it's literally like you now have instant access to somebody.
Yeah.
But also with that instant access, it becomes very passive.
Very.
Like, you can say I love you through a text message, but the action behind the love is missing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this year we have got to be more hands-on.
We have to be way more intentional about the support we give our friends.
Way more intentional,
for sure. And we getting older. We don't have time to be playing with this no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get your 5-6 people that you go hard for when it comes to support. You're scheduling in their shows on your calendar. You know when it's coming up. They post something, you repost it. Like, get intentional about your circle that you are going to intentionally support.
And
for sure,
it may just take a select few people that you support instead of
because you can, absolutely you can't do everybody.
Overwhelming,
yeah,
too.
For sure,
and that's a thing too. And so sometimes I say, like, if financially you can't go out and buy a $65 t-shirt or hoodie, I get it because I'm a frugal girl. Sometimes just really making that connection and being intentional with your support and how you support is so important.
Yeah, for sure.
I tell that with people with me all the time because, like, I am battling so many different elements, just being a woman, existing, showing up, being an adult, being like whatever, like the elements,
being black,
the weather. God,
yeah,
because Puxatony Phil gonna make me throw these bows.
I want to talk about the weather, but maybe that's going to be for another show.
Girl, the weather's gaslighting us. You didn't know? This is the epitome of gaslighting.
And then you would think, like, okay, Houston don't do this, but Houston is going through a blizzard right now as we speak.
For real?
Maybe not right now, but like maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, it was like a whole blizzard, and I'm like, I'm not safe anywhere.
I hear a lot of people, like, I was talking to somebody and they were like, yeah, I'm ready to relocate because the winter weather is just insane. And I was like, you're not safe.
You're not safe anywhere.
The weather is weathering.
Yeah.
The weathering is like literally hitting with, I'm not your superwoman. Oh, no.
No, seriously.
I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. That is what the weather is doing to us right now.
100%.
It is wild. It is wild. So, yeah, Kansas City culture is a thing that I think we are just a unique.
We are a unique group of people.
I'm so
we
glad
really
that
are.
the Chiefs are putting us on the map so people can learn about us.
Yeah.
Because the talent in this city,
the talent is cool.
Bananas.
And the people are really cool too. Like, the people are really cool. Being back, I'm just like, okay, I am around people with the personality that I have. Right. I'm around people with the comic relief that I have. Yes. Like, it's something about being back in the city that I grew up in, and I see other people who act like me, who talk like me, who laugh at the same things that I laugh at. It's just so homey. It just feels so home. You know, I have the personality. I'm gonna get along with everybody. You
do.
You know, I connect. I make my small connections with people and I keep it moving. But I do. It's just something about people from Kansas City.
It's got a swagger.
It's a little easier just to connect with us. I don't know what it is.
I feel like we are your melting pot of people. Like, we are very much a dot because we're right in the middle in the Midwest. So we have a lot of these Southern traditions.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of these Northern. Like,
you
my
are
family
right.
migrated from Michigan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So black people from Michigan, a whole different ball game. Detroit, whole different type of blackness.
Yeah,
baby.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you just have, and then we are a city that's heavily influenced by the Bay Area. So you have this
absolutely
huge
always
West
has
Coast
been
dynamic. You have a huge Memphis, Mississippi, like Arkansas. A lot of people from Arkansas.
Oh, absolutely.
Too. So the city itself, the talent that we have, like Kim Keys. I don't know, she came from Arkansas. The girl can sing. Like, I just feel like if Shaka Khan is alive to have a conversation about her and the Rolling Stones, because she's going to be in that top Rolling Stones list.
I love that.
I think that's what's so dope is, like, I'm looking at people in this city and I know, like, you're going to be that Whitney Houston. You're going to be that, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be that icon and that legend. Like, and I think it's cool to, like, be around these people. Like, I hang around somebody that feel like that. So, you get to, when you see somebody in they walk, because you in your walk, you just get it.
That is the most exciting place to be. That's the most. And if you have a mind for success, you have a mind for projection, you know, like you will see that this is the most exciting place to be, like in front of Janell in a, you know, in your, is this your first radio show?
I mean, in real life, it's my first solo one.
I love it. I love it. You know, but just to be
about it.
at the journey. Just to be on the journey. This is the place you want to be.
It is.
You know?
And I like, a lot of comedians will tell me, you got to get out of Kansas City. Like, you don't want to be just the best in Kansas City. Like, you got to explore. And I'm like, well, rent is affordable.
Yeah, that's
and
a real thing.
I'm too grown to starve for my dream.
Yeah, no, it's going to come. It's going to come.
I think, I like being here because for me, being a top tier comic here puts me in the pipeline to do all these things. Like with this radio show, I came in as a guest on somebody else's show.
Yeah.
And Mr. Walker was like, hey, man.
Yeah.
You got the juice.
Yeah.
Keep coming back.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Be top tier in your city. Because, listen, if you top tier in your city, if you top tier in your state, let's go there.
Right. I was on the debate team. You know about ranking up and winning things.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, if you top tier in your state, you top 50 in America. You got to think about it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
So,
and I think it's easier to be more successful if a group of people know you and can kind of push you
absolutely
out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's also my perspective. I get it. Like, I understand I should move to New York, but here is the goop of the gag of the gag of the goop of the gag of why Janell is trying to stay put. One, affordable housing.
Absolutely.
Two, and housing is a right. Let's get that straight.
Yeah.
Also, it's just a human right. For me, like, I have learned a lot about myself and who I am, and I love representing for my city. Like, I love going other places and being like this little black girl.
I did too. I love telling people I was from Kansas City when I was in Houston. Now they knew once I opened my mouth because I sound like I'm from Kansas City, and I didn't know that until I moved to Houston.
Yeah, we got a swagger.
Yes,
and then you got to explain
my
to
city
people
was a thing.
Geographically that Kansas City is in Missouri, and then there's a Kansas City in Kansas. Dear God,
it's a whole thing.
Dear God,
and please do not say so. What y'all got in Kansas? I wouldn't know. I'm not from there.
I'm not. And then I always throw people out. Well, I got a caveat. I live right on the state line, so I can go both places. And one day,
oh my God, they get so confused.
It's
so entertaining.
For me, I like being here because I like being able to just be that girl.
Be
a resource.
Yeah.
And be on top of my game. I love it because for years and years and years, I've worked to get into comedy clubs. And now I'm in a comedy club and I'm on standby. Somebody got sick and they were like, hey, where are you at?
Yeah. On my way. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so building rapport to be trusted.
Yes.
To work with, I opened for Ida Rodriguez. And that was something.
I just thought that was so iconic. I love her.
She was so, I loved her because at the end of her set, she was like, clap for me, but clap for Janell.
Yeah.
Because this is the person you're going to see on HBO. This is who's going to represent your
There is no doubt
city.
in my mind.
I'm trying.
There's no doubt in my mind.
I'm trying.
Are there still doubts in yours? Let's talk about it.
This is the thing. I am seeing more and more of me. Like, TV has took this transition where you see nothing but black people in commercials.
Yeah.
Now, and I am living for it.
Yeah.
And I see more plus size women. I see women with braces. I see women with natural hair and locks. So I'm seeing my friends in my social circle on TV. Yeah. Like, I watched one of my friends on Wildin' Out this season. You know what I'm saying?
That. Yeah.
So, like, I have been in places, like I went to the Comedy Cellar and I'm hanging out with like Netflix comedians. Yeah. And I was like, they were like, hey, let's take this picture. And I was like, I'm not one of y'all. Yeah. I didn't perform. And he was like, okay, anyway,
let's take the picture.
You definitely belong, sis. You're blending in. Shut up and take the picture. Yeah, and I'm like, hey, you know, they ready. She ready. You know. And so I don't doubt it because my worlds have collided way too much.
Absolutely.
And I have just learned, like, I think now social media makes us do this number game where if you don't have a lot of followers or you're not going viral.
And this is exactly why I think I've just taken such a back seat on putting myself out there on social media, because it's like, I do not have the energy for the game.
The number game is draining.
I'm going to have to be discovered. Like, that's how I feel. Like, someone's gonna have to be somewhere and discover me and like me and really just want to help me from what you saw, because you truly believe in me. You made a connection. But this social media thing is just not my zhuzh, and it has to be. Does it have to be?
They make it seem like this is the best way to be discovered, and I will not deny that at all, because I do believe, I mean, we see it.
Yeah, for sure.
I also think there is a realistic aspect, especially when you're going for certain dreams. Never in a million years that I think, oh, I'm just going to have to be discovered off of social media, because I'm a stand-up like I am the Richard Pryor of my generation. I want somebody to come pull me off stage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Richard Pryor ain't got no Instagram. Ironically, though, Luther Vandross does, and I'm still trying to figure that out, and I do not want to follow the account because that's a ghost.
Yeah. That's crazy. Don't do that. Just forget she said that. Don't go look that up, y'all, for real.
So, I'm just saying, like, to me, it's a major benefactor, and I know that it's important to have an important element in your career, but I also, like, when we talk about a healthy balance and we talk about, you know, this mental health component in our careers and making sure not only are we thriving in success, but we're also thriving here.
Absolutely.
I feel like sometimes that social media component is what takes this down to zero.
Yeah,
because you can be doing everything.
Not willing to. I'm just not willing to compromise that anymore.
Amen.
I'm just not willing to compromise it anymore. And it seems as though you got to choose one. And maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have to choose one. You know, I just have to perfect the skill in balance and balancing it, you know, and really just using it for work.
Right.
I don't know, y'all. It seems as though I would have to choose one, my mental health or going real hard and putting myself out there on social media. We'll see. It's
one of those things where I know that they can work out and balance each other, but at the same time, it's like, at what level of sacrifice? Because, like, even as an athlete, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to be an athlete, you keep sacrificing your body. Are you going to be that great athlete if you keep, you know what I'm saying, tearing up your body? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you have to, like, find that balance, and that's where I'm at.
When do you know when you need to pull back with social media or rearrange how you're doing things? At what point? Like, what happens with you? What's going on with you where you're like, okay, maybe I need to figure out another way of how I put myself out there on social media? Or has that happened to you yet?
With social media, I just, like, some days I have weeks where I'm like, let me put out some content. Let me go through, you know, and da-da-da-da-da. And then some days I'm like,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
ain't posted on Instagram for a week.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I struggle with it. Like, I don't feel like it's getting me booked. So why, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a balance. But then sometimes I see, like, it does help. Or like, for instance, right now I've been hired as a streamer. I'm signed as a signed broadcaster on this app. And the beautiful thing about it is it motivates me to be active because I'm on this app doing other things.
Yeah.
So like today I was about to tell Mr. Walker, no, I'm not coming to the radio. We'll do this virtually. But then I was like, no, a good streaming and content benefactor would be to actually be in the studio.
Absolutely.
So let me motivate myself. Last week I went to the gym 4 times just to create content.
Oh, I love that.
So it's like, not only I haven't been in the gym in 2 months, it had been a mental thing. I'm sick, I'm gaining weight, and I couldn't force myself to do it. But then something else or another activity came along that has made me like prioritize the things that I need to prioritize.
Yeah.
So sometimes it just takes something to push you into another, you know, or just motivate you to be like, okay, let me do something.
Yeah, for sure.
So we gonna see. We gonna see. Cause listen, it's days where I'm like, you know what? You are one of the people who inspire me to actually even want to create content.
Really?
Because you like people make like content creation looks expensive. It just looks like another bill.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't have to be.
And so for me, I was like, this girl, I know her. I know who she is. She's just a down to earth person. I'm sure she's just not in no big YouTube lot studio, and like she's a college student. She is a teacher, like, and she's still maintaining to put content out there and motivate us. Like, I can do that.
Yeah, I love that.
So thank you.
Oh,
you done got me off the couch a couple of times.
That is amazing.
You're a drug.
That is amazing.
You are dope.
Because you never know. You know, you never know who's inspiring you. And I'm literally in this space right now where I'm like, okay, now I came home, right? I came home in November. It's March. It's, you know, moving from Houston to Kansas City.
It's a culture shock a little bit.
Oh, my God. Getting into cosmetology and barber college. Still wanting to do my personal training. Like, everything is such a huge change, a shift. Turning 30. Let's talk about it,
You
y'all.
lactose intolerant now, ain't you? Yeah. You done made that switch to almond milk, ain't you?
Why is she like this?
Yeah. I already know. Auntie know.
You are a mess.
Auntie already know.
Anyway, I am at the point to where I'm like, okay, now it's go time. It's go time with the content creating. You know, like now it's time to really do what I came back home to do.
Yes.
But yeah. With that, I get it. It motivates you once you are committed to the content creating life. It motivates you to, you know, get out the house.
Yep.
Do better. Get some self-care in, you know. To just to honor what it is that you said you was gonna do.
Indeed.
What content creating.
Indeed. And it makes you start to track your goals.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you don't know who you're inspiring with doing that. Because I remember when I did it, like I was doing it every day. I uploaded every single day. I was going through a transformation, 60 days to fit, fabulous, and financially free.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, in the midst of doing that, so many people watched me, and I was so grateful for the outpour of love. But again, you never know who you're inspiring when you are committed to what you said you were going to do. But yeah, that was one of the saddest times of my life and one of the most accomplishing times of my life too.
It's crazy how we can be in like a downward spiral, and it can be in retrospect the most rewarding times of our lives.
Absolutely.
That is being a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can go literally do the show of your life and be homeless. And I've heard so many stories about it. Yeah. So, to wrap up the show, because we have covered.
Oh my God, it's almost over. Yes, I don't like that. I gotta come back.
You definitely. Oh, she's a regular. She don't know what she about to hold me accountable.
I'm so here for it. I love it.
Yes, it's about to be the Comedy Power Hour with Angel.
I love that. I love that. The more that I'm on, I promise to loosen up a little more. I'm coming with makeup on next time.
Ooh, okay, now I'm gonna have to get.
I'm leaving here. I'm getting a haircut. Like, you know, she called me an hour before. Okay,
you are right.
And this is my girl, so I'm gonna show up.
Stay ready. You ain't got.
You know, I know that now. I know that now.
Yes. So because we all about the terms and the benefits of just getting where laughter is beneficial to us.
It's so beneficial.
I always say that. So if you don't like Chris Rock, you failed. No, just kidding. You're entitled to your opinion, but also just understand that there's benefits to laughter. Regardless if you don't like it, if you don't agree with it, I hope you find a chuckle in it some way or life. You know, anything. If ever you're getting on your nerves, just laugh at that bill. Just laugh at this inflation right now, because we popping it for petroleum and eggs. You hear me? So just the benefit of laughter. Short-term benefits. Let's talk about short-term benefits real quick.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, it stimulates many organs. Boom, bop, bam, heart beating. You on the Amarion, okay? You doing it for Saint. Okay, you activate and relieve your stress response. You know what I'm saying? So you activate and relieve that thing. You're not scared. Michael Myers might not scare you that much if you laugh more. You know what I'm saying? Or you might not be cussing out the grocery store every time you look at the prices if you're laughing more. You know what I'm saying? And it soothes tension. So you know how your shoulders be all up and all of this, and you look like a
stop doing that.
You know what I'm saying? If you laugh a little bit, baby, you coming down.
You can release that.
Now you got breath. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying is you got to laugh a little bit more. Laugh a little bit more. And I'm going to give you some reasons to laugh because we got some upcoming comedy shows in Kansas City. I'm going to go through these fast than a mug because we are about to run out of time. So the Comedy Club in KC, my home, my residency, the 16th through the 18th, we got Greg Morton in the building. If y'all don't know him, he has been on everything. Last Comic Standing. He's a great impressionist. So you will definitely, if you like impressions, ow, Peter! If you like impressions, make sure you come check him out. And as well, the following week we got Garth Reynolds on a special one night. Garth is a favorite here in KC, so if you're a fan, come check him out. And Matt Bronger coming the next week, so check him out. And that is at the Comedy Club of Kansas City on 1130 West 103rd Street, not to be confused with the Improv, which is up north in Zona Rosa. And their upcoming schedule is the following. Miss Pat, y'all seen her on BET Plus, right? Miss Pat is hilarious. Make sure you check her out. Black woman doing the thing right now. Went from drug dealing to dealing jokes, baby. So make sure you check her out this weekend at the Improv. They also have Christian Johnson coming in, Benedict Palazzi, which is a special engagement, and Tim Bay. Tim Bay is coming March 26th for one night. He's a internet sensation and hilarious. So make sure you check him out as well. I might try to sneak in on that show. I have a whole bunch of upcoming shows. Go to MissJustLaugh.com to see them. I can't remember them to save my life.
Love it.
But support me. I'm headlining in a comedy club in Arizona. Never been to Arizona. So I'm super excited. And we back, Kansas City. We back to win something.
We back.
So if you are in the area or know somebody in Phoenix, check me out at Stir Crazy Comedy Club, March 31st and April 1st. April Fools, but I promise you it's no joke. I'm hilarious. And I have to thank my special guest for coming through this
Thank
thing.
you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you
She's
for
not
having
a guest
me
anymore. You know how when you come over to somebody's house,
right?
2 times,
now I live
get
here.
your own water. Yeah. So you will be back. Thank you so much.
No
problem. I appreciate you. And thank you to Lauren and Cece for holding me down on Pacocha as well in KUAW. I'm back and I'm better, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Comedy Power Hour. I'm the host that does the most, Janell Banks. Thank you to the Music and More Foundation. And T. Will, where you at, boy? I miss you. Come back home. I love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.